Hello, my fellow courtroom companions. Thank you for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to create and implement a self-care program, which is really important when you're going through a family court battle, whether it be divorce or custody. It's important that you do a lot of self-care, and this can be really hard, especially if you're on a budget, which if you're going through a court battle, you likely are, because the family court system can really drain your finances. And so in today's video, I'm going to tell you how to do that. I'm going to give you a ton of ideas on how to do it on a budget. So stay tuned. But before we jump into the content, I want to remind you to please subscribe to the channel, and please do hit that bell notification so you'll be notified when I upload videos, and feel free to comment below if you like this video. Okay, let's get right into it. Doing a self-care program is actually one of my favorite topics to talk about, because I didn't always do it well during my court battle, but then I learned to do it, and it always helped me to get through to the next hearing and the hearing after that. And so I learned quite a bit about how to do self-care on a budget, and so I'm anxious to and excited to share this with you. And so the first thing that I would tell you, the first tip, is to really be authentic with yourself about what you need. Each person's going to be different, and so you have to ask yourself the question, what do I need in terms of self-care? Do I need a day off from the kids? Do I need a nap? Do I need someone to clean my house? Do I need to get together with friends? You have to decide what it is that you need from your self-care program. And so for me, I discovered very quickly there were two things that really came up to the surface for me when I was trying to figure out how to make more time for myself during my court battle. And the first was that I realized really quickly that I needed a good circle of friends that would allow me to vent whenever I needed to. And so I called them my tribe. And so it was really important that I had a tribe of people that I knew that I could call at any point, and I could vent to them about what was going on. I could strategize with them. But the other thing that helped me to do was to replace a lot of the thoughts that were in my head about what was going on in my battle. And so if there were crazy circumstances, I would try to be making sense of them on my own, and then I would talk it over with a friend, and they would bring a much more logical approach to it because they weren't emotionally connected. And so they could feed me thoughts, feed me information that could replace kind of the chaos that I felt internally because I was in it. And it's really hard to kind of see that objective side when you're in it. And so my tribe became extremely important to me, and they're out there. They know who you are. I've got them I've got folks in several states, and so they were a really big part of my journey. The other thing that I realized that was really important for me was that I needed bubble baths. I know that sounds really simple, but if I could count on like a 30 to 45 minute bubble bath in the evenings or in the mornings or whenever I got a little stressed, that it really did carry me forward. I would light a candle, and I would get all different kinds of scents for bubble baths, and I would just put one in that I liked, and it really did carry me forward. And I even do it now today to de-stress. And so what that meant for me was wherever I was living, and I had to move a couple of times during my journey for various reasons, and I had to make sure that they had a deep tub, because that was one of the things that I really needed. And so those were the two things that I really needed. And maybe you need something different or something similar, but those were two things that I knew I could count on. I'm now going to share with you 10 budget-friendly self-care ideas that you might want to implement. So the first is, if you have a smartphone, which most of us do, or a TV, you can simply download a free app for running or yoga or any kind of exercise that you like to do. Everybody does a little something different. I also did karate for a couple of years during my court battle, and that was good exercise, but that cost money. But if you like martial arts or something, perhaps there's a free app that you can do. There's YouTube videos you can learn how to do martial arts. So any kind of smart device, there's always free exercise things that you can do. So that's one simple budget-friendly thing you can do. The second one is to go outside and get sunshine, go for a walk. when I was going through my court battle, I would walk around my building where I worked, and just getting that sunshine and that, just getting out and clearing my head was really, really helpful for me. I found it to be extremely important to do on a regular basis, and that's a really budget friendly. It doesn't cost anything. You just go outside if there's nice weather. The third idea is to do your own self manicures and pedicures, or if you have a girlfriend, you can do each other, and you can buy over-the-counter products for those kinds of things. It's really simple. There's all kinds of different scrubs, different scents of the scrubs, and so just doing a mani-pedi for yourself can do wonders for the soul, really. It's just, if you can't afford to go out to a salon, definitely try to do your own. That's a great self-care thing that you can do relatively inexpensively. The next idea that I had that you could do, I actually did myself, which was to keep a journal. Some people like to have their own hard copy journal and they just kind of handwrite that. I had a girlfriend that did that, and to read her journals was just so healing for me. She shared them with me and I was just so grateful for that. But for myself, I actually did it on a computer, and I actually captured everything I did for the first, I guess, about 14 months when I separated and then was going through the court battle. For the 14 months, I literally journaled everything I did with my children. I journaled what we ate. I just journaled, and it just helped me to kind of, I even look back at it now. I have it all printed out now in a binder, and I look back at it, and I've just grown so much since then, and I didn't realize how invaluable that was going to be to me later. I didn't necessarily realize in the moment that it was going to be helpful, although it was helpful for me to get my thoughts out. But even now, more importantly, it's really important for me to look back and see how much I've grown. Another self-care thing that you can do if you're a coffee drinker or a tea drinker is to go out and buy a favorite mug, and to go out and buy your favorite coffee. Maybe splurge a little bit on maybe the name brand coffee beans or the name brand tea. Get all kinds of different flavors, and then use that, maybe get a book from the library, and then use your favorite mug, and just use drink your favorite tea or coffee. That can be very soothing, especially if you're able to find a book that is not necessarily self-care, but just you can lose your mind in the book, maybe a good romance novel or something. That can be really fun. The sixth idea I had was that if any of you crafters out there, I would definitely, if you've put that aside, because you're in a court battle, I would definitely encourage you to pick that back up and make time for that, because if you're doing hobbies that you enjoy, that's gonna de-stress you, because you're able to focus on that more than you are the court battle. And I think that's a really great self-care thing to do, is to pick up your favorite hobby. I used to crochet a lot, and I did start to crochet a little bit during my court battle, but I didn't find that as soothing for me as some of the other things that I did, like going for a walk or exercising. I picked up running during my court battle, and so I found that a little bit better for me. But if you're into crafts or crocheting or knitting, I would definitely pick that up, because it can be very, very helpful for your self-care. The seventh idea that I had for self-care is to find a therapist. If you have health insurance, most health insurances do cover counseling or therapy. So I would look into your insurance plan to see if you can find a really good therapist. And if you're involved with someone who is a narcissist or has narcissistic tendencies or behaviors, I would definitely search around for the right therapist to help you through that. If that's not their specialty, they might not be able to help you as much as somebody who does have that specialty. So I would maybe get recommendations or interview them. I did a video a little bit ago, and I'll link it above, on how to interview to find a good attorney. So you can maybe use some of those tips to find a therapist as well. The eighth tip that I have, or the eighth idea, is to eat a well-balanced diet. But more importantly, I would encourage you to find a really pretty, or if you're a guy, a masculine place setting. Find a nice place setting, one with a nice placemat, a really nice plate, and maybe a goblet for your water or for your wine, and just really sit down at each meal and take your time and eat. Because if you were like me, during my court battle, I felt like I always rushed through meals, and it felt really stressful. So I began to really slow down and really take my time and eat. just take your time and eat, enjoy the meal, enjoy the experience, talk over with your family, your kids, spend time with them. Don't rush through a meal. The ninth idea I have actually takes no money and actually can be quite enjoyable. If you're a napper, take naps. If not, definitely go to bed at a decent hour and turn off all the electronics, turn off your TV, and set yourself on a schedule. So if you can make sure that you're in bed by 9 o'clock and then get up at 5 or 6 or whatever time you need to get up, then you've had an 8-hour sleep. You've had 8 hours of sleep, which is really important if you're going through a horrific family court battle. You need your rest. And I found that when I didn't get enough rest, I wasn't able to be at the top of my game for my kids or my court battle or in life in general. So definitely try to get enough rest. I cannot stress that enough. I swear if you can get enough rest, you can tackle anything the next day. So the last idea that I think would be really helpful is if you have to get a streaming app of movies on your phone or on your television, like Hulu or Netflix. I have enjoyed Netflix so much because you can get lost in a series or in a movie, and that can be really, really helpful for your self-care program. If you are like focused on raising kids and you're focused on a court battle all the time and your mind doesn't have time to rest, that can be really hard. So definitely get a streaming service. They're not that expensive. I think Netflix is under $16 a month. Or you can, I think Hulu is even less than that. I don't have Hulu, but for those of you who do, please comment below. I think it's pretty cheap. If you're a Hulu member, let us know how much it is. So definitely get a streaming app. I think it'll be really helpful for you. So those are my 10 budget-friendly ideas for how to do self-care when you're going through a family court battle. I hope you found them helpful. And as always, please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you found this video helpful, let me know. And if you have any ideas for self-care that you've used, let us know in the comments below. I'm sure all of our other courtroom companions would appreciate learning some more tips and tricks for how to get through this. Take care. Bye.